Hello. This is going to be another video. Not talking about CAS this time. It's talking actually going to be about something very important. Is that since the IB is more or less supposedly the hardest program in the entire world, we want to talk about IB and life balance in general. This is not only going to be just simply IB tips, but perhaps something that tries to help you with later on in life. The simple fact of the matter is that the IB will take a lot of your time. It can and will take a lot of time. It, in a sense, introduced this notion that school isn't a singular object anymore. It's not dejected from the rest of your life. It's not simply isolated. You don't wake up, go to school, and then when that portion is done, then you live the rest of life, in a sense. It's not this isolation-y thing where, oh, it's in a sense a part of that I don't count as life. I don't count going to school as having fun or actually learning something. It's more counted as this singular entity that you go in and go out, you know, and then afterwards, after school, you live the rest of life. This is not the case with the IB. It more or less actively encourages you to see school as with life as a whole entity. You take two objects here, you take life over here, you take school, and then you mash them together into this thing called the IB. And that's the hard part because most school system they don't ever introduce this thing. Now you suddenly been hit with this 2-year program that suddenly integrates all of these elements into your face, especially in some parts. I know definitely from my experience and perhaps the 11th grader experience as well. This was the case. School was seen as an isolation thing, and then suddenly when the IB comes around, it interjects so much elements of knowing that school is a part of life as well, and that's hard. That's very hard to do. So finally, after we've done the introduction, now we get to more or less the main point.
It's 13
I
hours.
am so sorry for that. It is 13 hours. It's quite late. But either way, the thing about life balance and the IB is just like anything in life. It can and will take a lot of time, but you have to change, in a sense, your mindset. That's the main thing. The IB in itself is a lot of time actually not hard. You can more or less say it's not completely hard. It's not, oh my god, I need to. It's in a sense not introducing concepts. It doesn't. It's better to explain it as it doesn't throw you into a forest naked and afraid and expect you to find your way back to civilization and you don't even know where the hell geographically you are on the globe. And I do mean civilization by meaning your place of origin. So say if you're in Germany, they somehow kidnap you, blindfold you, and throw you in a forest in the Amazons, completely naked, and then you have to somehow find your way back to civilization in Germany. The IB is not that. It's not something that is so absolutely mind-bogglingly hard. For others, it genuinely can and will be harder. I will not deny that one bit. However, when you truly look at the program, it isn't, oh my lord, it's super duper hard. It throws you, in a sense, into life. It throws you into knowing how to balance things, how to look at school and say, I have this much time allocated for school and schoolwork, and then there's the rest of time that I actually do things. It builds up this, in a sense, grit in the body of just saying, hey, I don't care if I feel lazy right now, I don't care if I feel like this and that, I just need to work through this thing, then I can enjoy the rest of life, in a sense. Saturdays and Sundays start to become more, okay, I have 24 hours, I have slept 8, and I'm gonna work for a certain amount of hours, and I'm gonna do all the stuff that I want to do this certain amount of hours. It makes you actually plan out your schedule to a certain extent. And that's actually quite great with the IB, my opinion wise, because it throws you into this very harsh landscape that demands balance from you. It demands you to be a genuine human who can say, I know how much time I have in a day, and I know to just grit through some things in general. The IB can be hard, in my opinion wise, 100%. It can be hard. But it's rather, how hard do you want to make it, in a sense? If you a lot of times spend your time just enjoying stuff around and not truly, in a sense, going all out, going partyings, and you don't really make any progress towards something. It's the difference between two types of entertainments, right? The usual type of entertainment is mindless entertainment, you could basically say. You watch the Kardashians, I don't know, you watch Grey's Anatomy, a lot of time it doesn't teach you anything. You're simply there for the comedic value or for the entertainment. And that's fine. However, when you get into the IB, it starts to question how much mindless entertainment can you take anymore. And it starts asking you, okay, how about we look for another form of entertainment, but it actually gets you to your goal. The IB forces you, in a sense, to this reality space where you have to know, I have to allocate this much time for school. I simply have to. Not because 100% I hate it, but it's more because I actually see it as a semi-good thing. It is going to be hard to understand. But TLDR, you have to allocate time well. That's more or less all I'm gonna say. Can you truly spend all your time watching, I don't know, YouTube videos anymore? No, not quite. You simply have to sometimes grit through certain things. It can be stressful, it can suck, but a lot of time I also ask you, well, how much do you truly care? Right? How much do you truly care about this? If you care a lot of time you can grit through it. But then I also would have to ask you, how much do you truly like education? The IB, in a sense, brings up that question. How much do you truly like education? Are you just here to make more money? If so, if that's your motivation, that's completely fine. In my opinion, then show me that. Show yourself that you have that motivation to say, I want money a lot, I want a good place in university, that's why I'm doing the IB program. Right? But if, well, you don't like all these things and it's simply too much for you, I would have to semi-recommend you to just drop out of the IB program. It's not for everyone, surprise, surprise. Not only is the price extremely exorbitant, which I find complete bullcrap of, but at the same time, it demands a lot from you. And you more or less have to understand that. It demands things from you. It demands you to actually try and go out and look at your own stuff. Surprise, surprise. It demands you to say, I only have so many hours in the day, I might as well try to work on something. And it also, in a sense, demands you to question, let's say, I don't know, your long-standing friends. Do they truly support you if you say, no, I want to actually get through the goddamn IB program and get a good score and actually secure a good place in university, not only that, but develop skills in a long time whilst doing it? Is it truly beneficial for my friend to be absolute pricks when you say, no, I want to work on stuff and improve myself? And moreover, it also, the IB is like a sock, right? I have a sock right here, so I would actually say I could do it very well. So so this is you. This is your body right now. What the IB does is that it reaches deep inside of your core and it pulls your insides out. You have to understand that it's hard. Of course, I'm not gonna frick-frack and deny that. It can and will eat up a lot of your time. Sometimes you have to pull all-nighters, which I have done before. Sometimes you would have to study endlessly, hours on end. Sometimes it's even worse, where you know that this certain task is very easy. A lot of time for IAs and EEs, you definitely experience this, where you know the content, you know all these things, but it's just a bulk of work. It's just volume. It's the same as like running sometimes, where you could run, but then at a certain point you just think to yourself, Jesus Christ, it's very easy, but it's just so much longer and you just don't want to do it. Yes, definitely the IB who can and will be like that sometimes. But the thing about it is that that's the whole point, right? Sure, it's easy, but then still it's testing you with something. It's hard because in my opinion, boys, it's testing you. It's a test, period. So to summarize, to balance between the IB in life is like playing with fire sometimes, except the fire isn't that bad. You just have to know when to put your hand on the fire and just say, just grit through it, just freak frack and do it. Who cares about my emotions, about my social life or something? How about I just like allocate some times for this certain thing because I truly care about my education, because I truly care about a future of mine. And sometimes you gotta say, no. I already did enough. I've already done a good amount. And say to yourself, hey, how about you take a bit of a break? Think of it as I'm taking a break to work better. Okay? Working constantly isn't good. Right? The human brain can only focus so many times. If we can just work constantly, we would never need sleep, and our concentration would never decrease as hours go by. No, that's not the case. So simply put, the IB can and will be hard, and you have to put in the work, okay? Because it truly brings to light a certain question: how much do you give a crap about your future? If you're here just to say, I want to go to university and make money, I don't care. But I'll tell you this, if that's your case, then show yourself, not me, not anyone else, show yourself how much determination you want to get there. You want to get to that certain job spot that would pay you $70,000 and get every chicks on the block, right? Show yourself that you can actually allocate time and be a genuine human being who can be very determined. That's the IB. I see it as a test, and in my opinion, people should see it as a test. It's throwing you harsh conditioning because it wants to test you. It wants to test to see who you are. Do you have a soul? Do you have what it takes to get through everything? And that's more or less the end of how to allocate IB and all the other time. Simply put, it's up to you. I cannot tell you what it is. I'm just gonna tell you that it can and will be hard, and you just gotta allocate time. Simply put. Is there another option to this? Yes, that's called choosing good parents and choosing a good environment, and somehow you're extremely smart, and the moment you go into the IB, you just understand everything. That's another one, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that doesn't work for 99.9% of the populace in the IB. So that's about it.